Die Sprachübertragung beginnt jetzt. Alle Teilnehmer befinden sich im Zuhörermodus.
All right, so let's wait maybe another minute or two, but I think we're already close to being complete here on the webinar in terms of attendees. All right, I think to be fair, let's start actually now, and then anyone who's going to be late can of course join us later. So maybe a quick introduction from my side. My name is Jan Sorensen, working as an e-commerce analyst here for Nosto. Also working with you guys pretty closely in terms of implementation and always trying to get our merchants to use the best practice approach in terms of implementing any recommendations. And this is also partly why we're now starting these webinars, because we can see there's a demand for some kind of consultancy and how to use our features in the best way. And I think we have quite a few attendees from agencies and a couple also from merchants as well. So welcome to the webinar. Today's topic is actually our new filtering features that we've launched now a couple of weeks ago. We can already see that some of our merchants have started using those. So we're really happy about the adoption of that, and hopefully after this webinar, maybe you guys are also gonna start using them more frequently and actively manage your recommendations. So I want to keep this webinar lean. It's basically going through a couple of points. So quickly, our motivation behind launching these new features. Then actually going into the Nosto backend to set up these filters using a couple of real-life use cases as well. I want to highlight a couple of points that you should be aware of before launching any filtering using those features. And then I think the most interesting case, what are the use cases that we see our merchants use these filtering features for, and then again a little information to top off the webinar. Please, if you have any questions, you can use the chat, or obviously at the end of the webinar, you can of course also ask questions or write us at support@nosto.com anytime. We're really happy for any feedback you might have, both on the features as well as the webinar. All right, so let's do a little warm up here. Why do we launch these features? Right now, we've actually just signed our 1200th client. We have lots of actually enterprise level clients now who come with feature requests all the time, meaning that we do a pre-selection of those, and those that we see have the most impact for our merchants will then also make it to the live environment. In essence, all our merchants have the features that all the enterprise level clients have as well. So we share these kind of learnings with every merchant. And at this point, also my suggestion to you, if you have any needs in terms of you need Nosto to do this, or have some kind of use cases where you think Nosto needs to be improved, write us a message at support@nosto.com. we always look to improve our product based on your feedback. So do go ahead and yeah, suggest anything you might need. Okay, so we launched basically these features based on a lot of feedback from our merchants who had been requesting this for a long time. Some of these are enterprise level clients that need to optimize obviously their turnover and profits, but at some points in their financial year, they actually have these kind of sub goals, which can be anything from purely optimizing conversion rate, AOV. What we see often is also that the sell-off rate needs to be accelerated towards the end of the year. So they're looking for tools to do that, and recommendation engine is a good way to start and support these goals. Also, soft goals such as solidifying brand partnerships or boosting, let's say, a certain price image that you want your customers to have of your shop can also be supported by using the setup of your recommendation engine, which is Nosto. And as we say when we kind of sell our solution, the way it works, yeah, we look at visitors, conversions, value, and all of these hard metrics are impacted by Nosto. And the same way for our filtering features. So what is it actually that our filtering features do? We have now deployed them on product page and on cart page. In about a week or two, we will also launch them for our best sellers. So they will basically be available no matter what kind of recommendation rule set you use or algorithm you use. They impact basically the most important metrics and variables of your catalog, product catalog, meaning product category, product price, the brand, any metadata you might have, so the product tags, as well as discount, which again feeds into the price as well. All of this is accessible now through the front end in the Nosto dashboard, so there's no coding necessary from your side. So you can leave the template section that you know from the Nosto backend also untouched when you set these rules up. So I think the guys who developed this in Helsinki did a really great job of making this as easy as possible for you guys. And we'll also go into the Nosto dashboard a little bit later. So a couple of points before starting to filter. Obviously, we need to have all the information in place. So at this stage, I'm just going to go into one of our merchants, which is the Iconic, and show you guys that they have done a full implementation in terms of tagging. So we see obviously the both prices, black price and red price. We have a full set of categories, as well as date published, and here the meta tags, so gender, something else, and age group, which is being passed on to Nosto. And of course, the more you tag in terms of variables, the more filtering you can do. And this is absolutely up to you what you tag, and this is dependent on your vertical and your business case. So, for example, this could be in fashion, obviously, age group, gender. If we go on to talk about a furniture vertical, this could be material. Is it wood? Is it plywood? Whatever, leather. So all of this, make sure that this fits your vertical specific need. All right. So black price, red price, make sure you have brand as well, and the tag fields. And use our debug mode, as I just shown you, to check that everything is in place before you go ahead. All right. At this stage, before we go into the use cases, I want to go into the dashboard and really quickly show you guys how to set these rule sets up. I think most of it is self-explanatory, but then again, we work with it every day, so might actually not be as easy as we think. So basically, you go into campaigns and the recommendation slots. So this is a test account. So already set up quite a few slots here, but let's add another one right away. And currently, again, this is only available on product and cart, so be mindful about that, but will be rolled out for all other types, and the next one being the best seller. So here we go, cross and upselling. This is where it's available now. So obviously you set it up as you set up any recommendation with the div ID and title. And then now you have a couple of new options here. So I think these two boxes are the most important. Filter settings and manual hiding. So in essence, this is everything that you want to include to be shown. And this is everything that you want to exclude from being shown. We are going to go into the use cases later. You have this option that is called with limited results. Should you fill it or show only the filtered results? This is especially important if you guys don't have too much traffic and there's not too many product relations available. So once you start filtering, you might actually end up not having enough product recommendations and product suggestions coming from Nosto, and it would then use unfiltered results. I think you should always have this as a backup set up to fill with unfiltered results, just to make sure you don't have a half full recommendation box. So then you have these drop downs. Filter by category. You guys know this of setting up cross-selling recommendations, that you can simply have this switched on, meaning that it shows set up the categories of the viewed product, meaning pretty much alternative products. If you're on a sneaker page, it will show sneakers. If you go for complementary cross-sell, you would go with other categories. And then obviously, if you really want to go custom, you can add any custom categories here. This might make sense if you want to narrow down the recommendations to only show, let's say, 5-6 different categories that you have handpicked that you believe could, for example, keep the upscale flair in your shop alive. The way to add these categories is one by line. So again, use our debug tool, and simply what you would do is copy paste the category in here, and it will already start filtering it if this were the iconic live account. Filter by price. This is a bit more a deeper feature that we've launched, and also really valuable. The first merchants have already started using this, mostly using a very soft approach to do actual upselling. Again, what we do here, we look at the current price on product page, which is the lower price up here, and then you can set up a rule. Should this be let's say always more expensive, or should it only allow, let's say, a slightly cheaper product but then leave it up on top? This is completely up to you. You can set this up both in absolute ways as well as in percentage points. I'm going to send around this link here later. Actually, I'm going to post it here right now, where you guys can actually see how to set up the pricing rule sets. For example, let's take this rule set where I would have a price of 100 euros and allowing it to go down to a maximum of 80 euros. So that would basically be done this way. Be careful, you need to have a lot of product inventory again in your store, or set up this with fill unlimited unfiltered results, sorry, to make this work. And of course, as a suggestion, don't be too aggressive. Obviously, if you only set it to show more expensive prices, the customer might not be too happy, and it might be too transparent. Then again, look from the customer perspective. If I'm looking at a 100 euro jeans, why do I get recommendations for a 30 euro jeans? You know, people are also shopping in their price bracket. So it doesn't make sense to show them something much cheaper, simply from a UX perspective as well. So it's not just a feature for the merchant, but it's really also a feature for the customer as well. And again, the same rule applies here for max settings. Filter by brand, I think this is also pretty clear. Brand of the viewed product, and custom brands, you can again pretty much copy paste the value that's found here. So you have the right syntax in place. What we have some of the merchants do, if you're on an Adidas product page, they would do, for example, more from Adidas, and show the most relevant stuff. So using our cross-selling tool, and then do brand of the view products. Filter by tags. This is again done pretty much on a custom level. So once you only use the extension to install Nosto, these will not be pre-filled. These will not be available. You cannot use this tool. So this is probably something more that agencies can also use to be a bit more involved in managing recommendations, improving them as well. What they do here on the iconic is, as I said, gender, age group, and a sale tag. So if you wanted to, for example, keep the customer in a certain gender group, let's play this through on the iconic. You have a product page, and let's say we want to add a recommendation box here. Let's title it more for your age group. It's a terrible title, but something like that. You would have adult here in the tag 3. So enable these two, and that's it. It will keep the customer on product page in this variable. Good. And lastly, filter by discount. I think this is a nice way to work during any sell-off period. If you have any stuff that's lying heavily in your warehouse, you can't get rid of, and you've discounted it anyways, you might go and push these in fully, meaning that the recommendations will only show red prices, red priced goods. So many use cases for using these filters. The same is applied for the manual hiding. Same approach. Enable, list the categories, list the brands, make sure that a certain product that carries a certain tag is not included. That will be done here as well. And I think this is neat for many shops that do not want to show any discounts at all, except, let's say, if you're on any sale site, make sure to hide discounts completely, because you guys know price sensitive customers, they will find the discounts anyways, so no need to push those actively into recommendations. At this point, any questions in terms of setting this up? I'm just going to look here at the chat. If you guys have anything you want to ask at this point. Anyways, of course, you can always ask us at support once you guys implement these features. So just go ahead and continue with a couple of use cases that we know of and that are used in the industry as well. Okay, so I think the most obvious, I guess, is pushing specific brands because you have a certain brand partnership. As a background, my previous employer was Zalando, and I can tell you when it came to purchasing merchandise, there were deals made that certain products would appear in recommendations, others not, to improve your purchasing conditions. But of course, you don't even need to go that far. Sometimes you want to highlight a certain brand. Let's say you have a Nike Sports Week or Marlene Birger, or you want to feature any kind of brand in terms of branding for a week, then why not have a site-wide recommendation box that you can easily adjust to show only that brand. I think it's a really nice way to feature a brand and kind of associate yourself with a brand. And if you have the possibility to get a good deal on purchasing, then why not use that as well. I think this is a bit more technical, but it still improves the way Nosto works and the results you will have using Nosto. I'm saying here improve gender relevancy of Nosto gendered recommendations. The way Nosto works, which you probably all know, is based on crowd wisdom, and it's a crowd-based recommendation system, meaning that we track all clicks of a user. So if you, let's say, you're a guy, you're shopping for clothes, and you accidentally end up looking at women's dresses for half an hour, then we track these clicks as well. And based on our recommendation logic, we see a link between male products and female products, which can be problematic, or let's say can lead to results that mix up genders. So you might end up having a female dress here on male jeans. Obviously, this is not a desired result in terms of using a recommendation engine. So again, I'm going to show this on an actual use case. Tag the gender if possible. So tag 1, male, and then in the recommendation backup here in the backend, go into filter by tags. And in this case, I think this was tag 1, the gender, include tag 1. So this makes sure that only male products are shown on a male product detail page, and vice versa on a female product, on a female product detail page, you will get clear gender-based recommendations. We've now started suggesting this to pretty much all our brands, and this again doesn't have to be necessarily only for fashion. This can be pretty much any tag that you feel could clear up and clarify your recommendations. So really much, really a use case from our merchant. I say this here method can be applied also for attributes like color and age group. How would that work? You could say more from color blue, more for your age group adult, as I just mentioned. This would also be possible to filter on product page if you have done the tagging. All right, clean product recommendations. We've had this now also a few times, mostly for bigger merchants that want to remove low margin products from the database. Usually these are fashion sites that, for example, want to remove white socks or socks in general, sometimes more spicy underwear. For mixed goods shops, this could be adult products that you don't want to have appear on your site to kind of dilute the product recommendations. That's the use case where you can easily just remove products and categories and brands as you see fit really, really quickly. Most of this will probably also be driven by your user who might complain there's something appearing in the product recommendation that shouldn't. All right. Next use case, pricing rules. We already talked about this, doing upselling. This is both interesting on product page as well as on cart page. You can boost your hard financial KPIs, average order value. As I said before, I wouldn't go and set these rules up to be really, really aggressive. Allow some cheaper priced products also to appear on your product page. And again, also make sure to use our discounted products tab during your sale season. I know from Zalando again that if you drive traffic to the category page, sometimes even as down to product pages, that it's really necessary during sale period to appear to be cheap, meaning there should be red prices all over the place. There should be red sales buttons, and you can use your Nosto recommendation setup to support that goal as well. All right. Finally, I want to have a look at what Zalando does on cart page because we've started suggesting this to some of our merchants as well. And this is also, again, possible with our new filtering features that we've launched, which is basically a shop-a-look generator, or what appears to be a shop-a-look generator. Again, this is the fashion vertical, but this can be applied to any other vertical as well. So if you're in the furniture business, this could be one way to upsell the customer as well using the filtering that we have now. So in this case, I just took a screenshot here. I have two shorts in the cart. And what Zalando does, they have two separate recommendation elements, two recommendation slots. I have to say, sadly, not through Nosto yet, but hopefully we'll get them to sign soon. The first one is a simple cart cross-sell recommendation, which will always suggest products that are related to cart items. Obviously, we can do exactly the same. What they do here is exclude all the products that then appear here. So if we go on Zalando, that would probably be all their accessories category is actually excluded on the left-hand side recommendation box, meaning you get your first upsell, and then the second recommendation box on the right is only filtered to show accessories. And I think this is an amazing way to upsell the client in a meaningful manner. So this is not spamming them with anything irrelevant. This is really highly relevant content. I added these 2 shorts. I get matching shirts and look here, accessories, 2 sunglasses, a cap, a backpack. Matches perfectly, and this is a great way to upsell the client, and you can use Nosto to do exactly the same. Obviously, if you want to, you could also add price filters on top of that. These are basically use cases that we know of. There are probably a ton more. We'd like to hear how you use these Nosto filtering features as well. I want to talk a little bit, 2 minutes, about a little checklist that you should know of before you use these filters. Especially important, I guess, also for agencies who handle their merchants, but also for merchants directly. The moment you start filtering, we have less results, meaning you need to have a decent amount of SKUs in your shop. You need to have enough traffic before doing the filtering. Once you start activating filters, for example, by brand, then you're already setting yourself up to kind of actively manage your recommendation. So if one of your brands runs out as a use case or as an example, but you filter to only show this brand, obviously you have an issue. So this should be considered when activating the filtering rules. I say mind your conversion rate. If you go with a standardized Nosto setup, we will always suggest the most relevant items automatically based on, of course, the recommendation algorithm. And once you start filtering and removing products from these recommendations, you might actually have a slight negative impact on conversion rate. So if you set really aggressive pricing rules, for example, on product page, this might backfire. So really, once you start using these tools at your disposal, make sure that you're mindful of that as well. And as always, keep your Nosto backup recommendation set alive. You can always, of course, switch off any filters if you feel they're not bringing you the desired effect. Good. Now talked for half an hour. I think that should be enough for today. I want to hear your feedback, questions. So if you have any questions, of course, let me know right now or through email or any other channel. So I hope you enjoyed this webinar and learned about our new filtering features, a couple of use cases, how we can improve Nosto even further. So let me know any questions you might have. Okay, we actually have some questions here. There's one question. Can you say something about the need to be done to integrate Nosto into an e-commerce platform? I would suggest you write me an email after this webinar at jan@nosto.com, and I can enlighten you there. This webinar right now is about filtering, but I'll be happy to answer that question after. Could you elaborate on what could affect conversion rates negatively? As I said, for example, if you set up a very aggressive pricing strategy on product page where you really want to upsell customers by, I don't know, let's say only allowing products that are to 20-30% more expensive, then you obviously cut down on relevant products that are related to that product. And this might actually negatively affect your conversion rate. Same goes for if you really aggressively exclude items that you feel are not fashionable, like white socks, but in the end it might actually add 10 euros to your cart. Then this could also be a case where you really negatively affect by filtering. Okay, can you give an example of absolute pricing versus relative pricing? Yes. Let me just go into our dashboard here again. So filter by price. So you can set both percentage values as well as absolute values, meaning let's say you want the recommendation box on product page to, let's say, never go below 50 euros or whatever currency you have. Then you would set here a minimum 50 and leave the max open. You can also reverse this if you have a really expensive, if you have really expensive items in your shop, but you know that they're probably, it doesn't make sense to have them appear at all in the recommendations. And I'll set up max 250 euro cap on the recommendations. That would be the absolute way to do this. Let me just quickly double check on the relative. So for example, here, minus 20% would allow you on a 100 euro product to go down up to 80 euros. That would be the lowest price item you would find. As well as, of course, max, let's say 200%, which would allow the product to be up to twice the price of the current product. Again, this might really make sense if you know that customers shop in price brackets. And as I stated earlier, if you're looking for a nice fashionable pair of jeans and you get a 10 euro jeans in the recommendation box, that's not so great. Okay, let me check. Good. Any other questions so far? Okay, where would I use these pricing filters? I mean, this is currently a product page recommendation. So this would, for example, be applicable here on the iconic. So if I'm looking at $126 jeans, then you could set up this to go only to, let's say, $100. So set up something like what, 80%, and then leave it open on top. That's something our clients and our merchants are actually using. Is it possible to mix absolute values with relative values? It is, however, of course, only one per. So one minimum could be a relative value, and once you look at max, this could be an absolute value. But you cannot set any layered pricing rules on product page. Yeah, and we will also give you a link to the webinar for the recording after. Okay. All right, if you guys don't have any questions, I think 40 minutes about covers it. We don't want to drag this out. I want to thank you guys for attending. Do let us know if you have any questions on implementing these features on support@nosto.com. Happy to help you guys. All right, thanks a lot for attending, and have a good day.